Good afternoon, Trump's family. Welcome back to my channel. Have a good day and God bless you. Let's get into the news. Well, it looks like there may be some interesting signs, some new rumors pointing to Mark Zuckerberg being out at Facebook as early as next year. Of course, they were quick to dismiss these claims via a tweet. But there seems to be a little bit more going on here. Facebook just laid off 10,000 people. Mark Zuckerberg has direct decision to continue to invest money into the metaverse, something that literally nobody wants is a giant albatross around the company's neck. They've decided to alienate half of their customer base by having policies that seemingly targeted only one group of people. And really, no new people are signing up for Twitter. Kids nowadays use Snapchat or TikTok. They're not signing up for Facebook pages. So Facebook could ill afford to inspire their users to leave to go to places like Minds or other places. But that's exactly what Mark Zuckerberg did, because he really wanted those Democrats to win the election. In fact, that's where he put all of his money. That's who, in my opinion, many of his policies served. And now it seems like he may just be out. So Meta officials have now come out and denied the rumors that were swirling earlier today, that billionaire Mark Zuckerberg is planning to step down as the CEO of the company that he has built from the ground up, and senators had told The Leak that the 38-year-old decided to step down as head of Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram. The reason they said the decision, quote, will not affect the metaverse Zuckerberg multi-billion-dollar virtual reality project that has lost the company at least $30 billion. It's hard to even think, like, when you ever notice, like, when we're talking about this stuff, these videos, and like I say something like $30 billion. And we're like, oh, okay, that's like, I have no idea, like, I have zero idea how much money that is, like, I can't even fathom a bill 1,000 million. Like, you know, a million is hard enough for me to even imagine. So they go on to say. But Andy Stone, a communication official with a company, tweeted on Tuesday, quote, "This is false." The rumor came as Facebook lays off large swaths of employees as a company's profits say. Investors and analysts have blamed the company's downfall on Zuckerberg specifically, and other executives shifting their focus onto metaverse, which has yet to gain any kind of interest. They say sufficient interest, but it's really any interest whatsoever, and they just have not. Share prices for the social media giant are now down nearly 70% since last year, but were trending up following the report. Isn't that interesting? So once the report came out that Zuckerberg would be out, the stock went up, and it kind of stayed up, not. I mean, it rocketed up when the report came out earlier this morning. I think the market knows that. Essentially, Mark Zuckerberg is addicted to this metaverse thing that he thinks is going to be the next big thing. But it just really isn't. I mean, nobody has any interest, as far as I know, in using that product or in engaging in it. And even those that are interested will tell you that the thing doesn't even work, right? That like it doesn't even function properly. And imagine having $30 billion invested in that. I don't even know how I could, you know, normally I pride myself on saying, like, here, this is how much, like, you know, this would be like a normal thing somebody would do that didn't work. Here's how you can relate to it. It's like, I don't know, I guess it'd be like paying $100,000 to rebuild the engine in your car and having it still nowhere. I don't even know that $30 billion. I don't even know how to break that down to like a reasonable number than that. If any of us could understand, of course, the company down $229 a share, 67.57% year to date. It did trend up early, but it gave back some of those gains. Now, I don't care whatsoever about this, because Mark Zuckerberg is happy to do the bidding of our government. People. I mean, I know my viewers won't forget this. But, you know, he was happy to ban anybody questioning certain policies, questioning the science to them. Even though the science team seemed to switch, it seems to be evolving. I think that that's not like a hot take to say that, hey, maybe, you know, hey, this is evolving. So maybe we shouldn't be like, banning people outright from these platforms, because they question things that seem to change and evolve on a daily basis during some period of time. And, by the way, none of those people have been restored. So just like Twitter, when Twitter, you know, when it came out that Twitter was losing $4 million a day, it was pretty obvious to me why they were. I mean, anybody who was getting any kind of engagement, they were banning, you know, like, they just wanted to be a leftist echo chamber, so that they could make sure that they helped get Democrats elected. And again, we saw Elon Musk today, Like confirm that he didn't like sort of confirm it. He confirmed assent. He agreed with a tweet from Dinesh D'Souza that was saying, hey, like, you know, the only people are all on the uproar about all these quote-unquote right-wingers getting unbanned, but the reality of the matter is that there were no prominent left-wingers that did get banned now, since Elon has purchased that there have been a few Ethan Klein Healer clients account, to name a few obviously, Kathy Griffin, she's been restored. It's happening, gang. The GOP majority in Congress continues to grow, all as the fallout from Arizona's election is causing more counties to delay certification. We're going to look at the latest wins in Congress. We're going to see how a proven ballot harvesting strategy is largely responsible for the latest wins. And we've got breaking news coming out of Arizona that may indeed be a game changer. You're not going to want to miss this. Republicans picked up yet another win today. It's now been confirmed that Republican David Validator has won his race for California's 22nd congressional district, beating his Democratic opponent 52-48. Republicans now have either 220 or 219 seats depending on whether you count Lauren Boebert, a twin in Colorado which is still going through a mandated recount, but her Democratic opponent has indeed conceded there's still 4 more races to be decided. And the Republicans look good to pick up at least 2 of them, which would give them officially 222 seats. That's all the seats they need to start launching their investigations in Hunter Biden and the Biden crime family and the corruption, the FBI, and of course, the whole Fauci fiasco. Now, the fact that these last races being called for the GOP are all or mostly coming from California, once again underscores the importance of what's being called the SoCal ballot harvesting, an initiative that's integral for a national GOP strategy. After 2020, we have to remember our elections are no longer just about voters or about ballots. Right, voters vote, but ballots get filled out, sometimes weeks ahead of time, and the Southern California Republican Party has mastered the ballot harvesting process to such a point that they've won back-to-back elections, 2 elections in a row, 2020 and 2022. Back in 2020, California Republicans began to employ the same ballot harvesting strategies that Democrats use with their constituencies. They made conservative evangelical churches their absentee ballot centers. They put drop boxes in the middle of all the conservative churches throughout their various districts. The parishioners were instructed on how to sign the ballot, both the ballot and the envelope, which have to be signed for signature matching and verification. And the church elders, in turn, took the drop boxes directly to the register of voters. So the entire process was streamlined with a clear chain of custody protocol being followed. Parishioners had a lot of confidence in it. And the result is that back in 2020, we came within just a handful of seats to win back the House. We picked up 15 seats, and a significant portion of those 2020 seat flips came from California, just like we've been seeing over the last 2 weeks. The majority of the wins that we've been racking up over those last 14 days are coming from California, where they utilize what's being called the SoCal ballot harvesting strategy. One Republican strategist reported that back in 2020, Republicans used Dropbox to collect over 12,000 ballots from one single church alone in Southern California. 12,001 church. This is the SoCal ballot harvesting strategy. It is absolutely imperative that we use it nationally so as to neutralize, if not crush, the Democrats' early voting advantage, because if we can combine massive early voting with the Republican traditional election day turnout advantage, we'll be unstoppable, especially in light of the shenanigans that we're seeing coming out of Maricopa County, Arizona, and we got some breaking news on that. Mojave County is now officially joining Cochise County and delaying certification and their votes in protest for the utter incompetence. What's really appearing to be nothing less than the willful incompetence on the part of Maricopa County election officials. The Board of Supervisors voted to delay certification the midterm election results until November 28. Mojave and Cochise are not alone. Other Arizona counties like Yavapai and Gila are considering a comparable delay in certifying their election results as well until there is an accounting for what happened in Maricopa. All of this, of course, comes on the heels of an official letter sent from the Arizona Attorney General's office to the Maricopa County officials demanding explanations for the myriad of election issues that raised significant questions as to the county's compliance with Arizona state election law. Broken tabulators lead to long lines, reportedly turning away voters and leading to voters being forced to trust that their votes would be counted fairly. The chairman of the Maricopa County elections originally claimed that only 20% think about that only 20% of voting machines were affected. That number has now reached 60%, more than half of the voting machines and 3 times what we were originally told. According to a memo drafted by an attorney who observed the voting process, quote, "It seems very clear that the printer tabulator failures on election day at 62.61% of the vote centers observed by 11 roving attorneys and the resulting long lines at a majority of all vote centers led to substantial voter suppression in Maricopa County." So needless to say, Kari Lake has hardly conceded this race. In fact, according to the Epoch Times, whistleblowers are coming out and exposing what really went on election day. The Arizona Sun-Times is reporting that the tabulation errors on election day disproportionately affected 300% more Republicans than Democrats. It's absolutely insane. The more we find out, so Kari isn't going anywhere. Kari is fighting this to the very end, and again without the slightest semblance of concern from the lamestream media. As one person noted, "It's amazing to me that, quote, reporters covering Arizona's botched election have nothing to say about the chaos in Maricopa County that happened on Katie Hobbs' watch. It was effectively voter suppression, not a single negative word about it. Just election denier beep bop boop." Yeah. The lamestream media has just effectively become literally nothing less than the propaganda wing of the Democratic Party. They're not even trying to hide it at this point. So obviously, we'll be keeping a very close eye on how things develop in Arizona, as well as the remaining races that remain on hold in the growing GOP majority. That's what I got for you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. If you're up for it, I'm gonna get back to work. Thanks for watching.